is hot. It's too hot. Too freaking hot. Sweating. All right. It's 96 degrees out. I can't. I got the paper, the lamination paper, and I'm going to laminate everything. So I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do this. I should do it this way. I don't know what I was doing. I don't have enough for all of them. All right, so I'm going to keep this one out, and I think I'm going to use it for something else. Anyways, I went to return something, and I was like, I'm not going to spend any money. And then I ended up spending money, but it was like $11 worth of stuff. And I got a game for $2. And this is Yahtzee. And I was like, I'm buying that because it's $2. Come on. And we're going to modify it on this video. All right, so I should just... I'm like kind of out of it right now because I'm hungry. I haven't ate all day. Let's see. Yeah, I can just do it that way. Whatever. So this paper is really cool because it's not like it won't damage anything if you misplace it, like if you make it crooked or whatever. What are you doing? Oh, just looking at yourself. It's just always hard to get little thingies. Jesus. Bless you. All right, I'm having difficulty here. Usually it has a little peel, but all right, never mind. I'll do it later because it's just going to take too long. But usually it has a little thing. You can just peel it, snap, you're done. So Yahtzee I've never played before. I know it's a Jewish game, I think. And we have this, I guess it's a scorekeeper, right? Based on chance, ow. And with this, because, you know, you'll use this up, it's smart to just either laminate it or make copies of it. So that's what I do. And let's see what this is about. It's a win even if you lose. I like that. The rules of Yahtzee can be played by one or more people. The group version is just a number of players playing the solitary version simultaneously. The player that achieves the highest score wins. A game consists of 13 rounds. In each round, you roll the dice and score the roll in one of 13 categories. Each category must be used, which means you might have to score 0 in some categories towards the end of the game. The score of each category is determined by a different rule. See scoring below. The object of the game is to reach as high a total score as possible. When all 13 categories have been scored, the game ends. Rolling the dice, you start by rolling all dice. After you roll all dice, you can either score the current roll or roll any or all of the 5 dice again. So you have double roll. You can re-roll. At most, you can roll the dice 3 times. Okay, I should highlight this because that's important information. Never played this game before. Heidi, do you have to make those noises? What is wrong with you? Do you need a bath? Do I have to give you a bath? Do you need a bath? The initial roll, where all dice must be rolled, plus another 2 rolls of any or all dice. After rolling 3 times, it is time to score the roll. So after 3 times, you have to score it. Once you completed the round, you roll all the dice again and repeat the process. Continue until all 13 categories have been filled. Scoring. Once you have the combination you want to score, you enter the point in one of the 13 categories. Okay. Once a category has been scored, it is closed out for the rest of the game. You cannot change a category's score once it's been set. Each category defines its own scoring rules as described below. In the upper scores, the total is the same as the sum of specified die face if you roll. The total is the same as the sum of the specified die face. This is why wording is really important, and also paying attention to what you read, because I'm kind of like thinking about other things. So sum of specified dice. Okay, so this is what it's talking about, I guess. You put the number 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6 separate. If you roll 3 sixes, 1/4, and 3 3s, 1/4, and 1/6, 3 categories. Your total would be 9, because that's the total of 3 dice. Okay. All right. If you score 63 or more upper points, an average of 3 dice faces per category, by the end of the game, you will get an upper bonus of 35. And I'm not care about that. 3 and 4 of a kind. For 3 of a kind, you must have at least 3 of the same die faces. I mean, that would make sense. It's 3 of a kind. The same goes for 4 of a kind. Straights, as in poker, a straight is a sequence of consecutive die faces. A small straight is 4 consecutive faces. A large straight is 5 consecutive faces. Small straights score 30 points, and large straights score 40 points if you rolled. So straights are just no pattern, whatever comes out. I assume. I don't play poker, so I don't know. I haven't played it. Full house, once again, as in poker, a full house is a roll where you have both a 3 of a kind and a pair full house. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I assume. That's another thing that people will need to know when they make games. Never assume that that person has played the game that you're mentioning. No assumptions. A Yahtzee is a 5 of a kind. All the dice faces have the same value, and it scores 50 points. Let's see if we can make that come true based on probability. If you're lucky enough to roll more than 1 Yahtzee in a single game, you will earn extra 100 points. Oh, snap. All right, chance is the get out of jail free roll. Whatever you roll, you simply total all the die faces. Well, let's see. What is these? Why would they tape it? Oh, there's nothing else in there. Never mind. It was Inception. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got little pencils. That's cute. I wonder how much this game was on full price. It was probably like $15, and I would have never bought it for that much. So I'm glad I got it for 2. All right, I want to get Yahtzee. Luck. This is not candy. This is not treats. Heidi came running. Okay, girl. Wish me luck. No. Poop. I did get 2 of a kind. Oh no, I got two of a kind. Right? So that's good. So I got 2. I got 4. Total 2s. Is this confusing for you? Because I'm having trouble being rational here. And 10 total 5s and a 6. Anyways, so I'm gonna go and switch out these die. I have actually I don't know where it is. I have a box of different colored die, and I have more luck with those. I haven't modified them, trust me. I don't cheat that way. But these die are going to be replaced and used for some other game that I will be making. So this is actually, I don't want to modify this game at all because it's actually pretty cool. But I am changing the die. And I think I remember this having a cup in there. Right? Like it came with a cup and then they shake it. Oh, interesting. But yeah, so game, simple, $2. Why wouldn't I buy it? Just makes sense to me. And this was going to be a couples thing. So I just like making games and I like playing games. Gotta do that. Before we get onto that, I'm going to retry this because I want to get it done. I am kind of scatterbrained sometimes, so sometimes I'm in cloud 9, you know what I mean? Here we go. So yeah, with this, you just peel this off. And I'm just going to place these beautiful bookmarks on the plastic. Well, it's not plastic, it's just film. Or maybe it is. And then just cut it. See? So easy and free. You don't have to spend any money unless you want to. Oh, shit. Okay. So yeah, I want to keep like a miniature border to fold it over the edge, just to keep it from peeling off. So you just want to, I'm just going to eye it. And this stuff I don't know what to do with. I don't think it's like a plastic. I don't know what this is. It doesn't feel like it. Okay. So I may have messed up. Yeah, it's not going to work, but that's okay. sometimes you mess up. It doesn't fold over as easily as I thought it would. So just cut it all. Get rid of it. All of it. And this maybe. Okay. This one I had enough to fold over, and you can just make a hole and add a piece of ribbon, you know, if you want to be fancy. I'm going to cut off the edges to give it some shape. See? You don't gotta buy like a $13 bookmark. I mean, if you like it, buy it, but times are they're not tough. You know, just gotta not be lazy. For me, it's like, if I really like it, but I know I can make it myself, I'll just do that. Because that's the fun of making things, right? And for a lot of people, I would say in like consumerism society, they just buy and buy and buy. And I'm not saying that, you know, I do buy things, but it's more like a conscious selection. You know, I make sure I'm buying products that aren't destroying the environment or killing animals or putting makeup on animals, you know, like, because that has an impact on the environment, and it has an impact on what is produced. You know, you buy things that are being tested on animals, they're going to keep producing it. So it's like an endless cycle. So I'm very aware, but most people don't care. To each their own. But everything you do comes back to you, right? Look how nice that is. That's freaking awesome. What was this for? The key to opening, I don't know, something. So we have 2 so far. Let's do the last one. Anything with rainbows, I'm already like about it. You know what I mean? That is also another thing. So people who support Pride, a lot of these big corporations will start selling rainbows, except for Walmart, because they're pieces of crap. I hate Walmart. I work there and I hate them. Like, their policies, their whole business, whatever, they are awful. But they're cheap, right? Anyways, so a lot of these random companies will start selling stuff for Pride, but in the background will support like Trump and people who and policies who are working against what unity is about. So that is another thing I take into account, who I buy from when it comes to things like that. The whole thing with the breast cancer awareness, even if it's pink, it's the company making a profit off of it. It's not going to anyone but the company. And when I found that shit out, I was fucking pissed. I was like, what the fuck? But America, you know what I mean? Anyways, so we have 3. Yay, I'm so excited. I don't know. I'm not going to use these on Deepak because he already has his tabs. But maybe I'll use this on something. I don't know what books I'll use this on, but we'll see. Let's see what else. I got something that I've been keeping on to because it's a conscious brand, okay? And they're pretty cool. Mama Chia. And it's like kombucha with chia seeds. And I got this when I drank it. And I was keeping it because I was like, what am I going to do with this? Because I can make it into something. But I'm going to put it in here. So that's going in there. And I want to put this. This stuff is so useful because to get lamination done here, it's expensive. And it's also very like toxic. So that's awesome. I'm talking to myself. Anyways. So yeah, so that is done. And I'm not going to cut this off because I don't know exactly what I'm doing with that. But let's get to the portion of relationships. Let me get some water though. It smells like, is it chicken? All right. So the key to relationships is communication, mainly. Maybe I'll put this here. This one's going in here. I just feel like it's fitting. It's two people trying to put a puzzle together, signifying life, you know. Well, I don't know why I'm putting this. So communication is like the biggest issue in many relationships. Speaking from a personal experience, my ex, American ex, he would text me and I would text him, and then we would get into fights because he would misinterpret what I was writing, and I would misinterpret what he was writing, and then it was like this whole like rant of him telling me that I'm being rude and blah blah blah. Very toxic, I know. That's why I'm not in it anymore. But the red flags were there. I was just ignoring them, I guess. There was something that that I remember where he was asking me for something, you know, and he was very anxious about it. And I was saying, it's okay, like I'll do it. And I accidentally sent him a laughing emoji, like completely by accident, like whoops. And he flipped his shit on me, and I was just like, it was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. And he did not accept my apology, like whatsoever. He just kept going and going. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like that should have been like, hello, Michelle, this person is not going to work out. But, you know, I was naive. But things like that are really common. Like there was an example I saw on the internet where this woman was saying, Is it okay for my husband to play video games and not take care of me or my children? And I was like, no, like that is not okay, first of all. But you have to express that. Like you can't just be there like giving him looks and expect him to read your mind, because no one can read your mind. But anyways, so you have to express yourself and put boundaries and say like, this is what I need from you, and then after you say it, don't expect anything, because that's what I do with someone. And then that will tell you how this person sees you in the relationship, whether they respect you, whether they listen, and whether they care. And if I was in that situation, that wouldn't even happen, like in the first place, because I'm very upfront and I'm blunt. And because of all the caca and garbage that I had to go through in previous relationships, I tell people right away, hey, I'm looking to get married. I'm looking for a husband and I'm ready to have a baby. Don't waste my time. Don't play games. Don't give me bullshit. And you'll imagine how many people have disappeared, which is fine. I don't care. But if your husband cares more about video games than taking care of your baby, then why do you need him? Like, just bye. I'm taking my baby to my parents' house and I'm just going to be a single mom because I'm already a single mom, apparently, so sorry. Unbelievable. The amount of excuses women put up with, right? Me included. Not as much as I used to, but it's just crazy how the social norm here in America is basically, I've been talking about it, the toxic masculinity. Like men think that they get married and then they don't have to try anymore and they don't have to do anything. They don't have to take care of their baby. They don't have to feed their baby. They don't have to play with their baby. They don't have to form a relationship with their baby because that's the woman's job. And that's not what having a kid is about in any way. But what do I know? Anyways, so we can talk about what we just talked about in this book, The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work. If anything, if people don't listen to me because I don't have a PhD at this time, listen to John M. Gottman and Nan Silver, who has a PhD in relationships. But he has a page that says, let's go back. Here we go. He has a quote that says, more than 80% of the time, it's the wife who brings up sticky, I hate this word because it's like martial arts to me. Like it looks like martial arts. Marital. Sorry, it's marital. Doesn't look like you pronounce it that way. Issues while the husband tries to avoid discussing them. This isn't a symptom of a troubled marriage. It's true in most happy marriages as well, which is, yeah, sometimes it happens. But if you're someone who doesn't have someone who's just blunt, it like you already know. A lot of people like to avoid conflict, right? And kiss ass. I am not that person. I'm not going to kiss your ass in any way. Anyways, he goes on to and this is why I like this book. It's like a game. He made it into a game. Typical me. So accepting influence questionnaire, and it's a questionnaire for 20 questions. My partner is really interested in my opinions on our basic issues. True or false? My partner usually learns a lot from me, even when we disagree. True or false? That's important. My partner wants me to feel what I say really counts. true or false. And I hope that is true for everyone, because if your partner doesn't give a shit about what you're saying, then why are you in a relationship? My partner wants me to be influential in this marriage. True or false? My partner can listen to me, but only up to a point. True or false? My partner thinks I have a lot of common sense. I hope. True or false? My partner tries to communicate respect even when we disagree. That is something so important. So I've known people who are vicious. I'm not saying that I can't be vicious. Trust me, I know who I am. But I've seen people who are vicious when it comes to an argument where they bring up things to blatantly hurt the other person, and that is not respectful in any way and not acceptable in any way, because what the fuck, like, why are you bringing that up? Like, it's just to be right and be rude. So, and people think that that behavior is acceptable. Obviously not, because this relationship therapist is like, that's not what you can do. If my partner keeps trying to convince me, he or she eventually wins out. Convince you of what? I don't know. My partner doesn't reject my opinion out of hand. My partner doesn't think I'm rational enough to take seriously when we discuss our issues. That's freaking rude. The heck? I'm sorry, but my spicy side is being awakened. Like, I would slap somebody. Not the person. I would slap the person that thinks that if your partner doesn't think you're rational, that you can't be taken seriously. Like, I don't even know. My partner believes in lots of give and take in our discussions. That's always important. My partner is very persuasive and usually wins our arguments. That is not what an argument is about. It's just about expressing yourself, and you're not supposed to win anything. You're just supposed to be together. My partner wants me to have an important say when we make decisions. I hope so. My partner usually thinks I have good ideas. I hope so. My partner thinks I'm basically a great help as a problem solver. I hope so. My partner tries to listen respectfully even when we disagree. I hope so. That's listening skills. My partner usually thinks his or her solutions are better than mine. No, it should be even. I mean, some people bring different skills to the plate, so different intelligence, but in general, it shouldn't be about who's better, who's smarter. My partner can usually find something to agree with in my position. My partner thinks I'm usually too emotional. Listen, if a man ever came up to me and I was married to him and they told me I'm too emotional, not only will they get slapped, I'll just leave. I'll be done. My partner thinks he or she needs to make the major decisions in our relationship. That's a controlling relationship, so you don't want any of that. It's just rude. There's a lot of people who, they're actually in America. Let's go back, because America is just a hot mess. We had some kind of show, about couples or something. Oh, it was 16 and pregnant. I have grown up a lot, okay? So I don't watch those things anymore. But I do have some guilty pleasures. This was from years ago when I was in middle school, high school. So they had 16 and pregnant, where these girls who are underage got pregnant. And the ironic thing is, no one there is Hispanic. You know what I mean? Because usually they're like the Hispanic women, the Hispanic girls get pregnant. They're sluts, right? Grew up with that. But none of them were Hispanic. They were all white. Can you believe that? Anyways, there's underage, 16, getting pregnant. And there was one couple that I remember. She was with her baby daddy, who they're all trash, honestly. I'm sorry. But they're all trash. Like that whole series is trash. Um, if I could take their children, I would adopt them and take care of them. But anyways, so she was going to a salad bar, and her baby daddy was like, "I'm gonna order for you. You're not gonna eat this. You're not gonna eat that. I'm gonna do this." And I was like, "The fuck?" And she was like, "He does that. Isn't that nice? He cares about my weight." And I was just sitting there like, what? And then I was done with the show. I was like, I'm done. Like, fuck this. And the problem with that is that it's a show that was really popular, and people accepted that behavior was right, in the 90s and the 2000s. And that's why we have this whole skewed perspective on pregnancy and relationships. But I realized, I was like, I'm sorry, but I like to eat. And if somebody tells me like I can't have anything, like I'm just gonna walk out. Bye. Like, but that's how crazy America is. That's how crazy America is. All right, so we have another another game. And it's yield to win. And I like that term because people are really competitive, right? And if you watch the socialism monopoly, my roommate Gio, who loves money, trust me, like, all right, it's okay for him to love money, but sometimes I'm like, I was teaching him a lesson, by the way, in that game. He was taking all the money from the community. And as you know, I don't play that. But I literally had no choice to watch him destroy my community fund because I had no money. So I yielded to win in the end with all the money. So that's something that people don't do. Sometimes you just have to lose to win. Don't take my secrets, please. I mean, it doesn't matter because I change it up. But please, don't use my knowledge. All right, yield to win. Below are some common situations faced by couples I've studied. Try to visualize these scenes as if you and your wife were the ones having the conflict. Wives who are doing this exercise should flip the genders accordingly. Okay. He should also be politically correct. Not everyone who's married is male or female. But it's okay. The more vividly you put yourself into each situation, the more effectively the exercise will be, no matter how negative you are. Here, let me move this. Thank you. Gracias. Oh, that looks good. So anyways, no matter how negative you envision your partner as sounding in these scenarios, try to view her attitude as emphasizing how important the issue is. And that is exactly what I was mentioning with my ex. He did not realize the whole point of communication and why I was getting upset, because I did get upset with him sometimes. Like, he would make me cry a lot. And guess what he would do? Just play his damn games. Anyways, I'm not bitter at all. I'm just reminiscing. Not as an attack on you. And that's one thing that people think that it's an attack. It's not. In other words, try to respond to the message, not to your partner's tone of voice. I'm learning a lot too, trust me, from this book. Assume that within the message is a reasonable request with which you could easily agree. In some of these scenarios, the demand is implied rather than directly spoken. Write down the request in a sentence. Then note what you could say to express your cooperation. There's no single right answer to each of these scenarios, but you'll find examples of effective responses on page 132. I just had a freaking epiphany. I can make this into an actual game with their permission, obviously. Why? Why didn't I think about that? It would just be so much easier because people don't like to read. So, damn, I'm going to do that. But not today because I have to brainstorm. Oh, we're brainstorming. But I need to eat really quick. I haven't eaten all day. Is that book? We're going to read one. It's like wordplay. Okay. Why are you so greedy? Anyways, here goes. Well, what about me? I'll go crazy if I can't talk about my day. Wait, let's go back. Example. Usually when you come home from your sale jobs, you're tired from having to be on all day. All you want is to play video games, but your wife, whose job entails far more interaction with computers than people, craves attention. One night she gets very angry when she tries to talk to you, but you don't peel your eyes away from the screen. You tell her you're tired of chatting. She yells, "Well, what about me? I will go crazy if I can't talk about my day." The reasonable part of wife's request is to talk about her day. You say, "I'm sorry. What if you give me half an hour to just chill out and then we can talk?" And that's reasonable. You know, like, I'm freaking tired. Like, just let me chill. The first scenario is you pride yourself on being an unsentimental person. I wouldn't be with this person. Your wife, however, wants you to make a fuss over a multitude of events: her birthday, Valentine's Day, your anniversary, etc. How is her birthday a multitude of events? And the anniversary? What? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. How are we alive as a species? I don't even know. On her birthday, she expresses hurt that you didn't plan a party, and you didn't plan her birthday party. And she says was forced to make the plans herself. You say birthday celebrations are for children. Is this guy like a what is it, Mormon? No, not a Mormon. Jehovah's Witness? Like, the hell? Birthday celebrations are for children? I don't even know. She says, "Why can't you just give me what I want? Why is it such a big deal?" And now it has a blank space where the husband will be like, "What is reasonable," right? And he has to say, like, something reasonable, right? But in this situation, is he reasonable in any way? Because unless he's Jehovah Witness, which they don't celebrate anything, that's their thing. But everything seems reasonable for me. It's just about caring. So this guy needs some help. He needs some help. All right, so I'm going to put my little bookmark in here, and I'm going to eat. And maybe while because I don't want to have you guys watch me eat, because, I should be getting paid for that, right? That's a joke. So I'm just going to leave this here, and hopefully you can see it. And then you can answer it. Maybe. I don't know. Can you see it? Should I put it this way? All right. Well, just have patience with me. I'm going to eat because, I deserve it. Broccoli. Heidi, why are you so greedy? I'll give you a piece of broccoli. Heidi. So anyways. Haven't finished eating, but too much going on in my brain. So now the doctor has what he would say is reasonable, right? So let's just do number one. The reasonable part of your wife's request is she deserves to feel special some of the time. Honey, if I don't feel special every day, I won't even be in that relationship. Sorry. No. This doctor needs to educate himself. And I'm not saying that I'm selfish. Like, obviously I'd make my partner feel special like every day. You say, I can see why do you want these times to be special. Can we select 2 or 3 of them and make them a big celebration? Oh my God. Okay. Trying not to lose my rationality. That's exactly what I was talking about. The laziness of being in a relationship on the man side. So common. Why are you even married? Why are you even in a relationship if you don't want to put the effort to make your partner feel special? don't even bother. Like, don't even bother getting married. Just marry your video games because that's what he wanted to do. Get a waifu, a pillow, and you're done. Like, that's it. You'll be happy, right? Um, like really, like it's just like why? Let's look at another one, right? Your wife is upset that you didn't check with her before accepting a dinner invitation from your friends Matt and Sally. She can't stand eating at their place because she thinks Sally is overly focused on healthy foods. And all right, so obviously the wife is just being a butt, um, because your partner can make decisions with or without you. She's just being what's the word? Petty because she's jealous. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Let's find one where the husband is the main focus. So reading this book, I realized this is very husband centered, and very his research. I guess he's not very. I'm guessing from just reading a few things, he's probably Catholic. I don't want to assume, but he has the view that a traditional relationship is man and woman, and that the husband is making the money, bringing in the bread, and the wife is stay at home. And I don't like that, but this serves a purpose. And like I said, I'm going to make a game out of it and I can modify it. Yeah, he's very partial towards the husband without realizing it. I mean, I'm more partial towards the wife, but I can be on both sides. Obviously, rationality. It's just in these scenarios, it's always the wife who is bringing up the issues. Okay, so number 4 says sometimes you make a bit of a mess in the living room when you get home from work, but you usually clean it up after dinner when you have more energy. One night when you haven't cleaned up, your wife says, "It really makes me mad the way you leave your stuff around. I'm tired too, and I wish I didn't have to pick it up after you. Why can't you clean it up before dinner?" And that's number 4. He says for you to clean it up before dinner, and sorry, okay, I clean it up, then follow through. So, like I mentioned, how I deal with relationships, I'll just be like, "Hey, can you clean that up?" And then I'll walk away. And if it's not done, I will punish that person in a way I see fit. And that's for me and my partner to find out. Anyways, cause and effect, right? The Gottman Island survival game. This is another exercise. This one seems fun. Imagine that you're on a cruise ship. You're on your cruise ship just sank in the Caribbean, and you awaken to find yourselves on a deserted island. Whoo, girl. I'm very interested. No one's going to survive that, trust me. Only me. Maybe. Yeah, I would survive. The cast members of Lost are nowhere in sight. The two of you are the only survivors. One of you is injured. Oh shit, that sucks. You have no idea where you are. You think there's some chances that people know of the ship's distress, but you're not sure. Don't even bother with that. A storm appears to be on the way. Oh, snap. He's just throwing it all out there. You decide that you need to prepare to survive on the island for some time and also to make sure you'll be spotted by a rescue party. I mean, yeah, but what if they never show up? You're in it for the long term. There's a bunch of stuff from the ship on the beach that could help you, but you can only carry 10 items. That's annoying. Why is he putting a limit? There should be no limit, but I see what he's trying to do. Your mission, step 1. Each of you writes down on a separate piece of paper what you consider 10 most important items to keep from the inventory list below, based on your survival plan. Then rank order these items based on their importance to you. Give the most crucial item a 1, the next most crucial item a 2, and so on. There are no right or wrong answers. Are we going to do it? I'm going to do this. I'm going to blow your mind. Do I have extra paper? Yes, I do. I have scrap paper. No, I don't want to use that one. Where's the one with all the blank space? I made a mess. All right. Let's do this. All right, the items from the ship. There's 26 items, right? And I'm going to say them all, and then I'm going to tell you why I choose certain items. And I want whoever's watching this to try it too. It's going to be hilarious. So in the ship's inventory, you have to rate it from 1 to 2. Oh, so what is the ranking? Let's do 1, 2, and 0. Because, you're on a survival mode. So you shouldn't be like, that's number 10. And, so 1, 2, and 0. 1 being the most crucial. 2 being semi-important. And 0 being you're not even going to bring it. You don't need it. So number 1 is 2 changes of clothing. That would be a 2 for me. Actually, you know what? That's a 0. I'll be naked all the time. Screw it. You're on an island anyways. AM, FM, and shortwave radio receiver. That is number 2. That would be a 1 if you're planning on leaving. 10 gallons of water. You do need water to survive. You're on an island. There's salt. Now, depending on that, you need to know if it's on what type of container it's in. I'm going to put that as a 1 for now. Is it jugs of water, or is it like a big tank of water? Listen, I know you're crying for food, and I'm just going to ignore you. Shh. Sit down. 4 is pots and pans. That's 2. That's important to collect water. 5 and number 2, it's matches. You don't really need it if you know how to make fire, but it's convenient, but also expendable. Like it's not going to last you. 6 is a shovel. I'm going to make it a 1. 7 is a backpack. A 1. You need things to carry. 8 is toilet paper. 0. Don't even waste your time unless you're going to use it to make fire. Stop it. Shh. Number 9 is 2 tents. Why would you need 2? I'm going to put a 2 because it's not that important. 2 sleeping bags. A 1 if you want to sleep comfortably, yes. 11, knife. Knife is like on my list. It's a 1. 12, life raft, small life rafts with sail. I'm going to say 0. Sunblock lotion, waste of time. So that's a 0. That's 13. That's not going to last you. Don't even bother. Cook stove and lantern, 1, obviously. Rope, 1. 2 walkie-talkies, 0. You don't really need it. I mean, I would take it anyways, but I'm just going to put 0. Freeze-dried food for 7 days. Ew. Freeze-dried food is a waste of time because it has no substance, so it's just really nasty. I wouldn't even bother. I would save it though to like fish. 1 change of clothing. I'm already naked, so I don't need that. 1/5 of whiskey. What do I use whiskey for? I would say it's a 1, and because it's an antiseptic and also a painkiller. 20 flares, 0 unless magnesium. 2. I'm putting 2. Compass, I would keep for sentimental value. You're on an island. You literally can't get lost unless it's like a huge island. I'm thinking of like a small island. And also compass, you can modify. Regional area maps, not really going to help you if you don't know how to read them, so 0. 23 is gun with 6 bullets. 0, guns are useless on an island. And also very dangerous if you give up. 50 packages of condoms. Okay, so I would take the condoms. That would be 1, but you can use condoms for other things to keep things waterproof, like your matches, your toilet paper for kindling, also for wounds if you want. So it is useful, but I wouldn't use them for their intended purpose. I wouldn't even bother. 25, first aid kit with penicillin. Of course, you need penicillin. And 26, oxygen tanks. Oxygen tanks would be like, I mean, you wouldn't need them unless you're going scuba diving. But you can use them as explosives, but I don't know what you would blow things up for. So I put 0 for the last one. They're not important. All right, so now share your list with your partner. Together, come up with a consensus list of 10 items. This means talking it over and working as a team to solve the problem. Both of you need to be influential in discussing the problem and making the final decisions. When you finish, it's time to evaluate how the game went. You should both answer the question below. How effectively do you think you were at influencing your spouse? I can't answer that because obviously, how effectively was your spouse at influencing you? Did either of you try to dominate the other, or were you competitive with each other? I mean, if you're competitive and you're like stranded on an island, like you're just gonna die. Like, what? I don't know. Did you sulk or withdraw? They're already dead. From number 3, they're dead. And then number 4 is just. Did you have fun? I had a lot of fun. Did you work well as a team? I hope you are a good team, because if you're not a team, someone's going to die. I know I'm not going to die. Hmm. How much irritability or anger did you feel? I mean, I'm pissed off I'm on an island. Not really. I can enjoy my life. Did you both feel included? I hope so. Interesting. Modern people cannot survive on islands and survive in the wild and survive off grid, like it is so crazy how lack of survival skills we have, except for me. Don't put me in that category, because I can survive anywhere except for the cold. That is it. I cannot live in the cold. I don't even want to think about it because it just makes me cold. I'm not made for the cold, okay? It's not. Genetically, I was not created from cold temperatures, so. Mm. All right. So we're going to do these questions, right? Let me put this in my book. Funny thing about these questions, right? They were on Pinterest. And literally they're text on a website. And it would not let me copy and paste because the data was secure or whatever. And I was like, are you really going to do that? Like, are you going to be that ridiculous and not give information that can help people for free, which they didn't even create? Like, this is all psychology. And I went around that because that's what I do. Super easy. Right? You can almost steal anything, right? I didn't steal it. Anyways, general questions to ask your potential partner. And then we have family friends questions to ask your potential partner. Faith questions to ask your potential partner. Money work questions to ask your partner. We'll start with the first part, which is the general questions. So with this stuff, which I'm also going to make into a game. I know, I'm crazy. But the first question is, what motivates you? This is like going on a first date. It is potential partner. So what are your pet peeves? Are you a morning or night person? Like, that matters, really. What are you afraid of? What are your fears? Do you get angry often? How do you express your anger? What makes you most insecure? How do you handle your insecurities? What was the biggest obstacle you faced in life and how has it affected you? How do you spend your day in detail? If you had some extra time to do whatever you want, what would you do? What is your love language? Ooh, love language. People don't know that. Everyone has a specific love language. Anyways, how much alone time do you need? What are your negotiable and non-negotiable traits in a partner? Do you suffer from any illnesses? Excuse me, that's none of your business. I'm joking. Do you want to settle in the country where you now live? Ooh, that's important. If you wrong someone, how do you apologize? And how do you expect someone to apologize to you? All right, so I'm going to answer these myself. Motivation is my passion for life. Just being alive motivates me. I know. Waking up every morning, seeing the sun, being alive, seeing Heidi, that motivates me. My pet peeves. That's tricky. Oh, I have an ant. Pet peeves are more like I mentioned earlier, if I ask you to do something and I end up doing it or it doesn't get done at all, I will kill you. Pretty much. Are you a morning or night person? I'm either or. But I go to sleep really early because I wake up really early. So I usually just pass out. But I can stay up, it doesn't matter. What are you afraid of? What are your fears? Not afraid of anything. Maybe jumping out of a plane. That'd be fun. Do you get angry often? How do you express your anger? I don't get angry as much as I used to. And my anger is expressed in Latina fire with lots of Spanish and pointing, and that's something I can't change. Heidi, really, you're gonna be greedy? Come on. Do you get angry? Oh, sorry. What makes you most insecure? How do you handle your insecurities? What makes me most insecure? I don't really have too many insecurities. I mean, obviously I'm human, but it's not something that I wear on my sleeve. Stop. You're so greedy. It's my fault, but I have to train her, and it's just I haven't had time. What was the biggest obstacle you faced in life, and how has it affected you? Well, the biggest obstacle was being labeled as mentally ill and never taken seriously, and I surpassed that. Obviously, people will still bring it up, and I bring it up because I don't really care anymore. But I've worked through my demons, and it's not something that affects me. It's more if somebody finds out I'm mentally ill or I live with a mental illness, it's a problem because nothing that I say is rational that comes out of my mouth, right? So, how do you spend your day in detail? My day changes every day, 24/7. Like, I don't know. I don't plan my day. I just do whatever I feel like. Mainly if making games, making art, making something, writing poetry, reading, but it's always different. If you had some extra time to do whatever you want, what would you do? I already do it. I have plenty of time. 10. What is your love language? Oh, I don't know. That person should figure it out, right? How much alone time do you need? I mean, I'm very vocal, and I'll let that person know, like, get the hell out of the house and go do something and leave me alone. And for a few hours or for a day, like, I'm not like irrational or whatever. What are your negotiable and non-negotiable traits in a partner? All right. Well, I'm gonna just. So embarrassing. So, negotiable traits. I mean, it's not. Let me look up the word. It's not the right word. Okay, yes, it is the right word. open to modification. And I'm going to write that because I understand that word more. Everything in life can be modified, right? So traits that I am open to modification. I mean, I don't really have like an image. Like, yes, I'm attracted to certain people, but I don't have like that's like the end all be all. If that person isn't if that person doesn't look similar to the person that I'm attracted to, then I'm not going to date them. It's nothing like that. Like I said, I leave it up to whatever the universe sees fit. Whoever's the best partner. Non-negotiable traits. The thing about respect, equality, education. They don't have to go to school, but like they have to be educated and intelligent, conscious, want children, work well with children, be active in the community, a change maker, someone that doesn't just stand there and let bad things happen. Those are non-negotiable traits. Also, someone with light colored eyes, blue, gray, or green. And that's pretty much it. That's not too bad, is it? I don't know. Do you suffer from any illnesses? I have a mental illness, but I don't suffer from it. Stop it. Stop it. Do you want to settle in the country where you now live? Considering the climate, what's going on in America, honestly, like I really don't care. Like if I go somewhere, which is the reason why I'm going to Europe, and they treat people better, the unity is there, the education is there, I have no problem leaving at this point in my life. Yes, I would want to come back once in a while, because I do believe things will improve in America, but it's going to be like one step forward, one step back at a snail's pace. And the longer it takes for me as a person, the harder my job will be in the end, which is someone in politics. But it's fine. I don't mind living in Europe. I wouldn't live in the Middle East. And I wouldn't live in Asian countries. Not because I have anything against that, mainly the Middle East. But Asian countries, they're still like China. That's basically slavery, and it's polluted and it's loud. Japan, I like it, but they can't handle me because I'm not quiet or shy. So I would make people cringe. So can you please stop? Yeah, Europe would probably be somewhere where I would settle. And also I was looking into getting my master's from them, but it all depends on what happens, because I can't make plans at this point. I'm not making any plans, because it's just no telling what will happen tomorrow or today in a few hours. So I just follow the wind, follow the current. If you wrong someone, how do you apologize, and how do you expect someone to apologize to you? If I wrong someone, I always apologize. Either I write a letter or I tell them like, "Hey, I apologize. Like, I'm so sorry I said that or I did that," and I expect the same thing from someone who has wronged me who still hasn't apologized. So let's see, what number are we on? 2. Family friends questions to ask your partner. Do you want to be a father or mother? How many kids do you want? Oh boy. Yes, obviously I want to be a mother. How many kids do I want? I'm not even going to answer that. I'm just going to leave it at X, which is, it's a number that you can replace with any number, a letter that you can replace, whatever. And it says, how many kids do you want? It doesn't say how many kids do you want to have. So I want to adopt 2. What was your childhood like? I'm not going to go into that because that is something dark and deep. And that should be between me and my partner. Do you have a closer relationship with your mom or your dad? I have no relationship with either of my parents. Not, I mean, that sounds bad. I don't have anyone that I'm partial to. You know, I'm just their daughter. Now it's gotten better, you know, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, that person is going to have to witness it because I can't explain the situation at all. Like, I don't even know where to talk about it. What is your biggest fear of parenthood? My biggest fear is not about losing my kid, you know, in utero or miscarriage. My biggest fear is the bloody mess that's going to come out of my body because I don't like gore, I don't like blood. And also the fact that I may poop myself. Hopefully that won't happen. But anyways, how long do you want to wait after your wedding to have kids? Oh boy. No comment. What do you think is the role of a husband and wife in the home? Role? It's about equality. And that's all I'm going to say because we're not in gender roles. It's stupid. Are you happy with the way your parents raised you? I'm going to be nice and I'm just going to skip that number. What are the responsibilities of a father and mother? The responsibilities are to be a parent. And I'm just going to write that down. There's no gender roles, in my opinion. Gender roles are toxic, first of all. And it shouldn't be that the mom has the whole thing about taking care of the kids, feeding them, blah, 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 and taking care of the dad. So that's my view, that you just be a parent, you know, a loving, respectful parent. Where does your family live? How often do you see them? We all live in Florida. My parents are like 30 minutes away. I see them like once a month. What is your view on stay-at-home mothers and fathers? I don't care. You know, like I said, it's about equality. So if someone wants to take care of the kids and someone wants to work, do it. How much time influence should a family have in your marriage? 0. I think they're talking about your family, like your parents, right? They're not going to have any influence at all. None. I don't. Nothing. What do you expect your partner's relationship with your family to be like? I'm just gonna say good luck. I don't know. If he's a white man, not American, obviously, but if he looks white, they're gonna be head over heels, and no problem there. But what chores do you absolutely hate doing, and which do you not mind? I don't consider cleaning my house chores. So the only thing that I don't like doing, but I still do it, is cleaning poop, cleaning accidents from my dog and the cats and the birds. So yeah. Do you have a best friend? Who is it, and why are they their best friend? If not, why? My best friend is Geo. I'm kind of shy saying that. Geo is my best friend because he has supported me throughout everything. Obviously, he has me in his house. Like, he asked me to stay with him, and you know, he takes care of me. He makes me food. I take care of him. Yes, I do bitch about him a lot, but you know, in the end, he has been the most loyal person, and I'm grateful for that. So I used to have best friends from years, like 10, 12 years ago, and they didn't last. So it goes to show you. What type of relationship do you want with your spouse to have with your friends? I just want them to get along and have fun. Like, I really don't. And if someone doesn't, this is kind of like hard to talk about because it depends. But if someone doesn't want to be friends with your friends because they're jealous or they see them as a threat, then that's a sign. That's a red flag. Like, this person has confidence issues. Also, for me, a lot of my friends are male and some female. You know, it's kind of equal. Uh, if there's any form of jealousy, or, I mean, you can be jealous sometimes, just like a little bit. You know what I mean? It's human. But if there's form of like controlling behavior, like you can't hang around this person because he's a guy and you're probably sleeping with him, that wouldn't even. I'd be like, bye, you're gone. You know, just go, because that's just not how it works at all. And also, I usually tell people when I'm in a relationship that I ask them, do you have a problem with nudity and me being naked or in public? And if they say, oh, no, you're my girlfriend, like, you can't do that, I'll be like, no, bye. Because no one's going to tell me when to be naked. I don't give a. All right. That's my right. Anyways, number 3, faith questions. Ask your potential partner. How do you spend your time with God? Everything I do is a reflection of my belief system, my creator. 32. How important is your relationship with God in your marriage? So for me, I have no problem. I wouldn't have a problem with anyone who's in a different religious belief system, even atheist, but it would be a problem if they would criticize what I do, question what I do. Can you, Heidi, stop? Um, so if that person is always like criticizing and rolling their eyes and like, you know, kind of making me feel terrible for doing what I love, then I wouldn't even bother with that person. Also, it is important to do things together, like pray and spiritual getaways or whatever. So, they have to have an open mind. They can't be like blindly religious. I wouldn't even get into a relationship with someone like that, because that's just meh. And this is obviously Christian because they mention the Bible. What is your favorite book in the Bible and why? I think Matthew. I know it's not a book, but I know there's a lot of quotes from Matthew that I like. I haven't had a Bible yet, so I'm waiting because I'm going to buy a fancy one. 35. Are you an active member in your local church? Do you serve? No, I don't tend to be involved with churches. I do have some community events that are run by churches, but to be a member of the church, I don't like that whole concept of you have to go to church. That's the only place where you can worship God, and then you have to give money. Because if you don't give money, you're going to feel guilty. And the whole thing, if that person isn't part of your church, then they're like an enemy. I don't do that shit. So that ain't my thing. I would love to go to really nice churches. I love the art and the architecture. No problem with that. But to be part of a church and be like, I'm part of this specific church and we do it the right way, not my thing. What do you feel like you can improve on in your faith? Sacred partnership with a person. What is your perspective on sharing the gospel? I don't force anything on anyone. If someone wants to listen to spiritual advice, go ahead. Oh my God, this is like so toxic, this sentence. How do you envision the husband leading his family spiritually? All right, let's burn these people. Let's roast these people. First of all, Catholic marriages. The man has all the power, right? He's not expected to do anything. So I doubt in spirituality he's doing shit. He's just there. Okay. For me, the husband has to work on himself and just live his life and love and whatever. What is something you struggle with in your faith? Sometimes I have self doubt, but I always meditate on it. What are your views on submission? What are we talking about? We're talking about faith. What submission are you talking about? Like what? These people are crazy. Submission. Who am I submitting to? Like, am I submitting to God or am I submitting to my husband? Because I'm not even going to answer that question because that's just. If we're talking about some other things, I'm not even going to. Number 4, money work questions. Ask your potential partner. What is your relationship with money? I like money, but I don't need it to live. So, whatever. If you won the lottery today, how would you spend the money? Oh, okay. Well, there's so many things I can do. First of all, I would flood any campaign that has to do with Biden and Trump and make it irrelevant. Support Bernie Sanders with my money and invest in the community and education. I can go on, but I'm not going to go into it because it's mainly like I would just collapse the system. Not in a negative way, but whatever. Are you in debt? If so, are you making progress to limit it? No, because it's bullshit. Yes, I'm in $100,000 in debt because of my education. Do you believe in tithing regularly? Tithing is a word that I know, but I forgot. Tithing. America. I don't know what tithing is. I'm very confused. I'll skip that one. I have to look it up later because I don't know what it means. Are you more of a spender or saver? I'm both. So I mainly save on clearance and discounts and free stuff, but I will spend money if I see something that's worth it. Mainly in long-term investments in any sense. Anyways, like you saw in Monopoly Socialism, I didn't mind spending my money on that. What are your views on having joint bank accounts? I mean, I don't have any problem with that, but they should have their separate and a joint. When you decide to buy something, will you consult your partner in making the decision? Only if it's using the joint bank account, and I would use my own money. Like, really. Are you happy with your career? What's your purpose, and how does being married help you get it fulfilled? Uh, my career, even though I've buried it, will always be to be an advocate and an activist, no matter where I go. Like that's never changing. So I'm very happy with it. Um, how does being married help you get it fulfilled? I don't need to be married to be fulfilled, but I hope that in marriage, my partner brings something to the plate because that's part of everything. Do you believe education is a requirement for success? Yes. Not traditional terms of education, like you have to go to school, get a degree, but learning every day on a daily basis is so important. It's hilarious. Some people, they go to school, they get their degree, and they're like, I never have to learn ever again. And it's just like, that's not. Anyways, 50, what is your retirement plan? What do you plan to do when you stop working? I have no retirement plan. Retirement is like this little carrot at the end of the stick that they feed people, like, hey, if you work all your life and you survive and survive, you'll get to sit on your ass and do nothing and enjoy yourself. I don't live that way. I live my life quite literally, and don't consider working work. I'm a millennial. Those damn millennials, right? Yeah, and that's it. I really interesting perspective on some of these questions. Um, it's just very telling when you read something about that person's mindset, right? What they what they perceive. I'm not saying what they perceive is wrong. I just think that you should think, question everything, and not accept it as fact. I don't think there's anything else. But to make this a game, I'll figure it out. I'm going to end the video here so I can finish my food. And I hope you enjoyed the comedy and learning a little bit about me in a weird way. Enjoy your day.